Pharah in the sky. Kill the Pharah. Soldier, kill the Pharah. Soldier, what are you doing? Just shoot her. Kill the Pharah. You're a soldier. You can't even kill the Pharah. You're so bad.
Dude.
Oh my god. Can't even kill a Pharah. Soldier, you're freaking wood tier. You're so bad. Wait, is that... Is he... That's IDDQD.
Oh, I am asleep and I am dead.
IDDQD is a top-tier professional hitscan player, and even he does not kill this master-tier Pharah, who is hundreds of SR below IDDQD's actual skill rating. This goes to show you just how hard killing a pocketed pharmacy actually is. Having a Soldier 76 is not enough to counter Pharah. Anyone who plays Soldier understands this. A single hit scan alone can duel Pharah, but it is not enough to take her out of the sky completely. PharaMercy is a huge problem in competitive, and left unchecked, the team with the pharmacy combo is going to stomp out the other. It is not just the hit scan player's job to deal with her. In fact, if you only have one hit scan, then you're sending him into a 2v1 constantly that he really should lose every time. This is Forest for Faulty Lid, and in this video, we're gonna go over 3 strategies to build a team comp that can collectively shut Pharah down, or at least make her much less effective. Our first strategy for dealing with Pharah is straightforward. Add more counters. A single 76 or a single McCree can be easy for Pharah to take out at the start of a fight, and then kill the rest of your team unopposed. However, when we start loading up on counters, there becomes less and less easy kills and easy opportunities for Pharah to make plays. I think this is the easiest method of dealing with Pharah. Make her and Mercy's life so difficult that they switch off because Pharah is just not worth playing anymore. In order to accomplish this, our DPS, tank, and support choices all should make Pharah's job harder to accomplish. For DPS, this means we're probably going to need 2 hit scans. Our best choices are Soldier 76, McCree, and Widowmaker. Having just 1 hit scan means that Pharah can use a concussive blast, dive on top of them, and remove her counter in just 2 shots. By having 2 hit scans, they can cover each other's back, and they become much more difficult to dive over. For matchmaking with random players, I recommend going with 76 and McCree unless you're playing with a good Widow player. You need to be getting value out of your DPS picks beyond just the ability to kill PharaMercy. If your Widow is good enough to do that, then she's a solid pick. But if not, then a McCree 76 combo is much more versatile. At the tank slots, we have several options that can make Pharah's life more difficult. D.Va, perhaps Overwatch's most underrated tank, can be a great soft counter to Pharah that makes the hitscan's job a lot easier. D.Va can eat Pharah's rockets and save teammates from potentially lethal fire and her ultimate. Plus, when she has an opportunity, D.Va can fly into the sky and put some shots into Pharah or Mercy. Just getting a little extra damage onto either of them can be all your hitscan players need to take the combo out. Winston can be a decent soft counter pick for the same reason. Diving into the air to chip Pharah or Mercy with 75 damage can be a big deal. It distracts them from what they're doing and gives your hitscan players some space and time to take out their remaining health. Roadhog can be a helpful tank pick as well. While he's probably not going to kill the Pharah very often, he can force her to keep her distance by having the threat of his hook. This prevents Pharah from getting right on top of your backline, where she can devastate a team very quickly. If she does fly too close, a well-timed hook will end the problem right there. For supports, we have 2 great options that can both put damage into Pharah, Zenyatta and Ana. Before Ana's recent damage nerf, it only took her 3 shots to kill a full health Pharah. At 60 damage a shot, it now takes her 4, but that does not mean her damage is useless. Like D.Va and Winston, using Ana is all about providing that little extra bit of damage that can assist your hitscan players. Hitting a couple of shots onto Pharah negates the amount of healing Mercy will be doing to her, and thus opens her up to being killed by even a single hitscan. Ana also gives you the added benefit of being able to sleep Pharah when she uses her rocket barrage. Ana is great because she can snipe PharaMercy out of the sky, but of course Ana's number one job is healing. You can't always rely on her to have the time to take shots at PharaMercy because Ana may be needed elsewhere. This is where Zen becomes a great addition to a team that's trying to deal with Pharah. Zen's Discord gives a 30% damage increase that can make a massive difference. And the best part about Discord damage is it requires very little attention from Zen in order to add it. He just needs to place the Discord and then can go about doing other things that he needs to do. Discord alone is very powerful, but if Zen can also land some of his shots onto Pharah, then she won't be in the sky for very long. All of these heroes make PharaMercy's job much more difficult to do, and all make her much easier to kill. The only downside to this strategy is that you're now building over half of your team composition around countering one hero. This allows the enemy team to make picks that counter your Pharah counters, which may lose you the game that way. For example, running double hit scan with 76 and Soldier is great against Pharah, but if the enemy team uses a D.Va, then your hit scans are going to have a ton of their damage eaten. This is why just throwing tons of soft counters at Pharah is not always the best option. Countering Pharah with as many picks as possible is still a good strategy, and it is usually the easiest method of dealing with PharaMercy in solo queue competitive environments. But keep in mind that it's not foolproof, and if they start to counter your counters, then you may have to choose something else. Some people might be annoyed if you pick Pharah to counter Pharah. I actually think it's a perfectly legitimate pick. The idea is not to pick Pharah in order to duel the enemy Pharah. The idea is to wreak havoc on their backline the same way that Pharah is wrecking your backline. By picking a Pharah to go against Pharah, you're betting that your team's Pharah can outvalue the enemy team's Pharah. So if you're good at that hero, or someone else on your team is, then by all means, pick Pharah and try to out-Pharah the enemy team. If your Pharah is good enough, then it will actually force them to start switching and picking up counters in order to take your Pharah down. As long as you have the better Pharah player, then you can actually flip-flop the PharaMercy problem and make it the enemy's issue. I also don't think the idea of Pharah fighting the other Pharah is all that bad either, as long as your Pharah is skilled enough at air shotting. Just one rocket hit is enough for an allied hitscan player to quickly remove the enemy Pharah from the fight. Of course, these are difficult shots to land and can take some time to pull off, but that's really not the worst either, because if both Pharah players are spending time shooting at each other, then at least the pressure is taken off the rest of your team. At that point, the team that's going to win fights comes down to a couple of things: who has the better team on the ground, or which Pharah will hit the air shots to take down the other first. For my money, both of these win conditions are preferable than constantly getting shelter from above by a PharaMercy combo that feels unstoppable. The final strategy for dealing with Pharah again involves trying to outvalue her. This time, we're not going to fight Pharah with Pharah. Instead, we're going to create a comp that can dive the ground players on the enemy team and kill them before Pharah's slow damage output can have enough of an effect to win a fight. In order to counter Pharah, it is sometimes helpful to just ignore her entirely. By having a Mercy attached to a Pharah, that is an entire support hero who is healing one target. That leaves 4 people on the ground with 1 support that we can go exploit. The idea of running a dive comp against Pharah is to eliminate that ground support as fast as possible and then snowball the fight from there. Pharah's damage output can be massive, but it can be difficult for her to hit evasive targets like Tracer and Genji. This can be taken advantage of. It's very possible to win fights on the ground before Pharah can do enough damage to win them herself. If all else fails and you have the personnel to do it, then running a dive comp against a PharaMercy team can force the enemy team off of Pharah simply because she cannot produce enough value to save her team in time. I think this is the hardest method of countering Pharahs, especially in solo queue competitive, but it is an option on the table if nothing else is working. PharaMercy is a really powerful combo. It requires a lot of coordination that often doesn't exist in solo queue in order to stop it. You usually have to kill the Mercy first in order to take the pair down, and when both players are highly skilled and are in sync, that becomes very difficult. If you take away one thing from this video, I want you to understand that it takes a full team effort to deal with the PharaMercy combo and not just hit scan players. The more people that understand what they can do with non-DPS picks to make Pharah's job a little bit tougher, the easier countering Pharah will get. If Pharahs are dominating your competitive matches, don't get discouraged. Find ways to put damage onto Mercy and Pharah from other people besides just your DPS. It is beatable, it just takes some coordination. As a community, we need to get better at understanding what's required to take down PharaMercy, and we need to get better at executing it. My hope is that this video will help you become a step in the right direction. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to see more Overwatch content and guides. I'm trying to make a lot of general guides right now in order to help out as many people as possible. So if you have questions or would like to suggest a topic, I want to hear about it in the comments below. This has been Forrest for Faulty Lid, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.